Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we've got a really fascinating mandate for you.
We do. We're diving deep into a stack of sources that blend celestial mechanics with some pretty shadowy narrative.
Our source material is the Astrology of the Day for 18 November 2025, and its companion piece, which is this intense noir fiction called Echoes Beneath Blackwater Street.
And both of these come from Tarot by High C. That's tarot by hic.net.
So our mission, it's simple, but intense. We want to unpack the key themes of a really powerful astrological transit.
And then show you how perfectly those themes are mirrored in the drama of this detective who, well, she just can't outrun her past.
And if there's one message that should stick with you today, it's right there in the opening line from the source material.
Little signals carry big meaning.
It just sets the stage perfectly for a period where every small detail you might have overlooked is about to demand your attention.
Okay, let's start with the cosmic weather report.
Right. Part 1. The Cosmic Mandate. We are dealing with Mercury retrograding, or Mercury RX as it's often called, back into the very intense waters of Scorpio.
And this runs from November 18th right through to the 29th.
Now, for listeners who might only associate Mercury retrograde with,
Delayed flights and email mishaps.
exactly, this transit is a much bigger psychological event, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. When we say Mercury RX, we mean the planet of communication, thought, all that logistical stuff. It appears to move backward.
Yeah.
And that forces a kind of mental retraction.
And when that happens in Scorpio, that's the sign of hidden truths, shared resources, transformation.
It gets personal, and it gets personal fast.
So if Mercury usually likes things, fast and light, what happens when it's forced to slow down and dive into Scorpio's domain?
Well, surface-level communication becomes, as the source describes it, almost painful.
You can't just skim the topic.
No. Every single conversation demands a deeper dive. It forces us to, and I'm quoting here, uncover what's hidden, and crucially, to speak the unspeakable.
So it's like the social contract of just polite surface conversation kind of dissolves.
It does. And you're left dealing only with the necessary, difficult truths.
I find the action items that the source provides are incredibly specific. I mean, it's not just a general vibe.
It's like an instruction manual for how to handle this intensity.
Yeah. We're told to revisit plans and ask patient, specific questions. Why the emphasis on patience when everything feels so urgent?
Because Scorpio energy is instinctive, it's volatile. If you just jump in emotionally, you'll stir up trouble. Patience is your shield here.
The goal then is to investigate, research, and, I like this phrase, pry open what was previously sealed shut.
Exactly. Think less of a broad sweep and more like using a forensic brush to uncover some forgotten piece of evidence.
And what kind of evidence should we be expecting to find? The source points to 3 major areas.
First, the return of an old conversation or confrontation, a conflict you thought was totally resolved.
And second,
A money matter resurfacing. Scorpio rules, shared finances, debts, that deep emotional currency. So old loans, financial secrets, they often rise up now.
and third is the classic.
A secret revealed, and yeah, potentially a painful one.
This sounds less like auditing a budget and more like, I don't know, psychoanalyzing a ghost.
Yeah.
How does this period impact our internal thought process?
It just takes on this incredible intensity. Reflection isn't just remembering something, it becomes personal, instinctive, and multifaceted.
That's why the sources link the psychological and the spiritual.
Right. Warning that memories can surface, dreams have a voice. You aren't just processing facts, you're processing the emotional and subconscious residue of those facts.
That is a fascinating connection. Now, this is where we need the practical application. The source gives a strong warning here.
A very strong warning against stirring up unnecessary drama.
And to watch out for words being used to control or intimidate. Since Mercury is communication, how can this transit enable manipulation? And what can we do about it?
That's vital. Scorpio, at its shadow side worst, uses depth against people. And since we're all forced to dive deep, a manipulator knows exactly where your deepest fears and emotional debts are.
So during Mercury Ars in Scorpio, words become weapons.
Because they're so surgically precise, if someone uses your history or past secrets to corner you or to demand a certain outcome, That is the cosmic warning sign right there.
And the practical shield.
It's simple, really. Stick to the facts that you've recently investigated. Don't let deep emotional rhetoric sway a concrete decision.
That reframes the entire period from just a struggle against fate to a clear challenge to maintain your emotional boundaries.
Exactly. And the intensity really peaks with the specific alignment for tonight, the 18th. We have the Scorpio moon conjunct Venus.
So the moon governs emotion, Venus is relationships and value.
And when they meet in Scorpio's transformative domain, emotional and romantic encounters carry this unusual weight. You are demanded to show up with your whole self, shadows and all.
There's no room for half-truths or masks.
None.
So what's the payoff for surviving all this?
Hmm.
This intense self-interrogation.
The source assures us that gentle edits today will make tomorrow's choices easier.
So hard work now for emotional clarity later.
Exactly. Leading to an honesty that gradually heals misunderstandings. And that intense, mandatory confrontation is just perfectly visualized in part 2 of our deep dive.
Echoes beneath Blackwater Street.
Yes.
And this is where the fiction becomes the ultimate illustrative manual for the astrology. The story opens with Detective Mara Vane on Blackwater Street.
And the rain hitting the pavement is described beautifully as a sheen of midnight mercury.
Signaling the transit is active.
Oh, yeah. And the inciting incident is Mara receiving an anonymous letter in dark red ink.
The conversation we buried is clawing back to the surface.
That one sentence is the direct literary parallel to the astrological mandate, the return of an old confrontation.
Mara is physically standing outside Thornbridge Cemetery. I mean, this is the ultimate symbol of the Sealed Shut project.
She's revisiting the site of her partner Adrian's death 12 years ago. Or, well, the site of his transformation into something alive but not living.
She tried to bury that impossible, painful truth.
And she is acting out the Mercury Arc's instruction to return to the source of the trauma. And inside the mausoleum, the perfect setting for deep secrets, she encounters Adrian.
A figure of incredible, transformative emotional weight, described as a creature forged from shadows and hunger.
This is the embodiment of that Scorpio Moon-Venus conjunction. It's a meeting that demands she face her deepest affections and her deepest fears all at once.
I love how Adrian, this creature forged from her history, he immediately validates the need for that patient-specific questioning.
He does. He tells Mara that she told him to ask patient-specific questions when a case refused to stay dead.
He is the living evidence that the past requires investigation, not denial.
And he fulfills the second resurfacing issue by presenting a coin scarred, old, etched with a symbol from their final case.
It's not just cash. It's a representation of the emotional and professional debt, the cost of that past case coming back to the surface.
It's emotional currency.
Then the narrative just executes the uncover concealed realities mandate perfectly. Adrian reveals the fundamental, painful truth about their final case.
The creature they hunted wasn't targeting the victims.
It was targeting her, which is a secret that just fundamentally alters her entire identity and her understanding of the past.
And the connection to the emotional depth mandate is chillingly direct. Adrian knows about her nightmares.
Her childhood home burning, symbols etched beneath her skin.
This is the source's prophecy that dreams have a voice playing out right in front of us. He knows her subconscious truth.
And Mara's realization of the danger, it immediately aligns with our astrological warning.
Words can be used to control, especially by the undead. The very nature of this creature is to use deep, personal truth as leverage.
What's so fascinating here is Adrian's own hesitation. He pauses, which is a rare moment of vulnerability for this powerful undead figure.
Right, before he reveals the worst truth, he says, "It will hurt you, Mara, and it will change everything."
The intensity of the moment is too much even for him.
He admits his own fear, that the closer she gets to the truth, the closer she'll get to the dangerous part of me that should never have survived the night I died.
So he's acknowledging that healing means accepting the whole self, shadows and all, which is exactly what the Scorpio Moon-Venus alignment requires of all of us.
It's not just Mara facing her past, it's Adrian facing the monster he became.
And the climax arrives when the original creature, the source of Adrian's undead nature, appears.
And it confirms that Mara's past is its target. Your memories are ripening, dreams have a voice, detective, and yours are finally speaking.
So the past isn't just tapping anymore, it's matured into something dangerous and actionable.
Yes. Mara realizes this confrontation is the opening of a door she spent her whole life trying to nail shut.
And everything inside it wanted out. It's the perfect illustration of that overwhelming intensity of truths trying to surface during this transit.
So let's tie this all together. If this intense noir story is the map, What is the action that we should be taking in the real world?
It tells us that the universe right now is asking you to be the detective of your own life. But you have to adopt the demeanor of Mara Vane.
The persistent, patient tapping of the rain on Blackwater Street that mirrors the need for relentless, specific investigation. You can't solve a 12-year-old case in one night.
You have to keep returning to the facts.
And Mara and Adrian's confrontation, charged with old betrayal and that necessary vulnerability, it serves as a mandate for our own emotional landscape.
So if you are having a difficult conversation this week,
You must show up ready to face the real emotional debt, not just the surface argument.
and the creature, waiting for Mara's memories to ripen, that perfectly illustrates the tension between necessary truth and active danger.
The lesson for us is, when you pry open a sealed-off part of your history, be it an old business plan or a past emotional wound, you have to be prepared.
Prepared for the fact that what you find might be actively dangerous to your current security, not just passively forgotten.
Right. So the true deep dive takeaway here isn't just that secrets resurface, but that the process of recovery requires a forensic level of discipline to counteract the emotional volatility.
We need to distinguish between necessary investigation and just falling into a trap of drama or intimidation.
Indeed. We are all being asked to confront the painful truth that we tried to bury deep inside the Thornbridge cemetery of our own minds. This period demands radical honesty.
Apply those gentle edits, ask those specific questions.
And don't let the intensity rush you into a bad decision.
It's a powerful reminder that our past is always present, isn't it? It's just waiting for the right moment to force the conversation.
Whether in fiction or in life, the past is never truly dead. It is merely waiting for the right cosmic or emotional climate to claw its way back to the surface.
But sometimes what claws back out is hungry.
A truly provocative thought to take with us as we face those resurfacing secrets.
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the shadows of Blackwater Street and the secrets we definitely did not bury deep enough. We'll catch you next time.